Welcome aboard. This is R&R in the Morning here on a fine Friday morning edition. He is Rudy J. I am Rob Thompson. We're glad you're with us today because it's a Mike McCarthy kind of an afternoon or morning. Welcome aboard, Coach. How's your morning going?
It's going well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Rudy. How you doing?
Hey, Coach.
I'm good, man. Thank you.
We were just sitting around talking about the kind of week you had. Judging against other weeks, would you say this was a pretty dang good week?
Yeah, it's always a good week, especially after a win. But it's been a quick week, we got back at 4 a.m. after the Monday night game, so it's coming on us fast, and which is a good thing. I just had to get through to work Wednesday and Thursday, and the guys are doing a nice job, and today's an important day to make sure we're clean and focus on some more situational areas that we want to make sure we're in tune with coming into the noon start on Sunday.
The camera's always rolling, Coach, and you said it was going to be a dang good plane ride home. How was that plane ride home from that home game in New York?
It was a good one. I personally tried to. I watched the game on the iPad and then got as much sleep as I could. That headwind coming back and it gave you an opportunity to get a couple hours sleep. So.
Hey, Coach, you talked about the short week, quick turnaround, and all that. I did some research on you. You're 10-5 in a short week. What's the secret to the quick turnaround?
Oh, I think the biggest thing is, first you start with scheduling. You got to be really in tune with your football team. I think that's a big part of being a head coach and, trusting your medical staff, your strength and conditioning staff, and really the feedback on exactly where the players are physically. So it's really trying to find that sweet spot of getting the amount of work done physically to make sure they're ready on Sunday, because, in weeks like this, the emotional and the mental part are really the only part that you can really stay in a normal flow. So it's, the scheduling adjustment and just, trying to be in tune where your team is, and our specific challenge this week, we have some players that are fighting to come off of injuries that, and it's a little tougher in a short week because you don't really get them the volume of work that you'd like to give them, before they play on Sunday. So just trying to juggle all that.
There was a lot of y'all guys, you and Jerry and Steven talked a lot about the running game during the offseason. And then this past Sunday in New York, it really came to life. Talk about the running game up in New York and how you guys can compound on that and keep that going.
Definitely. I mean, it's something that you really want to try to establish each and every week. And that's but the beauty of this league is that the challenges are different each and every week. So this particular week, this is their front seven is excellent. Particularly with Payne and Allen inside. I mean, these guys have been playing quite some time. They're established, and they're going to be a big part of how they're going to try to how to stop us. So it's a different challenge this week, but we just got to make sure we stay after it and keep our guys in clean place so we can rip off the ball and get the ball to our backs.
Coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. It's his weekly stop-off brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. You talked about their front seven. Your offensive line coach has certainly come together, and the addition of Peters looks great. You're third in sacks allowed, and you're 11th in pressures allowed. Now, a lot of that is offensive line, but a lot of that's also quarterback play. Explain the relationship to us, how a quarterback and the offensive line work that kind of ballet to get the ball gone without having to deal with the pressures, especially with a young quarterback.
Well, it's really all part of your protection plan and, making it fit each week and just everybody understanding the time clocks of the passing game. And, it's something that, especially in today's game, you don't have as much time in the padded work to get into a rhythm. So, it's something definitely you're always fighting to get into a rhythm in the month of September. And I thought our guys did a really nice job Monday night.
We talked about DeMarcus Lawrence last week, Coach, and I was asking, hey, maybe the numbers as far as the sexy numbers weren't there, but you broke it down for me and let me know exactly what he's been doing in the running game and how he, complements the defensive line in other ways other than just sacks. And then he has his, coming out party against New York.
Yeah, definitely. I think D-Law had a huge game. His game he was a game ball winner, here for our weekly awards, and I'm sure he'll be recognized even more for his performance. But I think really, if you watch this defensive front and just the pressure we've been able to put on teams the first couple of weeks here, I think D-Law just he won the race this week. So, and I think that's a very healthy, competitive situation to be in. But I thought our pass rush was the pressure that we put on their passing game was very good. One thing we got to really focus on is our rush lane discipline, and that's been the focus this week.
You said rush lane discipline?
Yeah, just because Daniel Jones was able to get out of the pocket and have some production, but I thought we did a really good job of collapsing the pocket time and time again.
Well, did you make number 11 run extra because he didn't get a sack?
No, I thought he, I tell you what, he makes everybody better. Just the attention that Micah receives on a weekly basis. But I thought he was, especially after the week he had, being sick, I thought he stepped up big time Monday night. I was proud of him.
Your running backs walking with a little bit more of a swagger around the place, but with the amount of carries and how much they're being relied on. I mean, how much does that help the room and the offense altogether? Because it was awfully nice to watch that run game pound minutes away on Monday night.
Oh, very good point. I think they both have a little hip in their hop right now, and that's something that they should, because Zeke and Tony are both a big part of what we do offensively, and it was great to see them get touches and have some really good opportunities with the run blocking unit. And I thought they both ran hard, effective, and their decision making was very good.
Like when this rivalry of Washington and Dallas came about, most of your guys weren't even born. Is it just a game for you guys, or do you have to talk about the rivalry, or do you just say, hey, you're just focusing on what we need to execute? Or because for the fans, it's like, look, this is it. We hate Washington. Washington hates Dallas, vice versa. Y'all guys just focusing on executing, or do you talk about the rivalry at all?
Oh, no doubt. We talk about it. We have a historical video that we'll show today, and just to make sure the rookies clearly understand what they're going to be a part of Sunday afternoon. And also, I think it's important to show the respect to the history and tradition of the Dallas Cowboys, and that's something that's a constant focus for us, because we're part of a tremendous legacy here, and the responsibility that we have to carry it forward. So, but yeah, I think history and tradition are important components, and our guys clearly understand the type of rivalry that this is.
How many times have you faced Carson Wentz? I wasn't able to look that up. How many times have you faced Carson Wentz, and what problems does he pose? Some weeks he doesn't look as good. Then some weeks I'm like, wow, that's the guy that was drafted number 2 that was all going to be MVP before he tore his ACL and replaced by Nick Foles. How many times have you faced Nick Foles, and what problems does he pose for your defense?
I'm going to say it's been a couple times. I know the first time I faced him was a Monday night game out there in Philadelphia with Green Bay, and I was impressed with him. Then 2020, we played up there on Sunday night with Ben DiNucci. So it's been a couple times, and I think it's also, you got to register in the fact that he's now on his third system, so you pay attention to that. But obviously a talented quarterback that's had some bumps in the road, but I do think he's in a place that has a very good scheme, has a lot of weapons. So it's definitely part of our focus.
Hey, Coach, he's been bumped 15 times so far this season. You plan on bumping him a few more times? It seems the key is to be in his face and make him making some quicker decisions. Do we get an award, Coach, for not bringing up Dak for nearly 8-9 minutes?
Are you looking for some love there?
Well, I'm trying to. I mean, I thought we were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Great job, Rob.
Coach, I'm coached with carrots instead of the stick. I need to be loved on. No, actually, the question all week is about, Dak coming back, and the question of getting him back involved. I mean, it's got to be a difficult balance there. What's his role been this week, and how do you utilize a quarterback that's desperate to come back but can't get in quite yet?
Well, I mean, he's in the rehab mode. I mean, he's staying on top of his conditioning. I mean, it's no surprise. I mean, Dak is still here full time, working, doing all the extra. But he's still progressing through the thumb injury. So, but yeah, he's not doing any type of throwing or anything like that. So he's still in the rehab process.
Yeah, I mean, is he mentoring? I mean, is he with Rush a lot, or is it is Cooper a rock star now and he needs to have his own parking space up close? Because
Man, you watch too much TV, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to hope he was getting a little gravy for the last couple of weeks. You were talking about the long history of the Redskins, Coach. They're going to be wearing all black on game day.
Yeah. Hey, whatever.
Whatever floats your boat, I know, but
I don't care what they're wearing.
Yeah. He got to put $1 in the jar. He said Redskins.
Oh, that's right. Sorry about that, Coach.
Commanders.
The Commanders.
Hey, Coach.
I get to practice that myself.
Oh no, I got.
Well, Coach, we want to appreciate you stopping by today. I know it's been a busy week. We look forward to a good one. Short weeks are on your side. Let's hope we get another one. Have a great, healthy week. We look forward to talking to you next Friday.
All righty. Thank you, man. Take care.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Head coach Mike McCarthy right here on San Antonio Sports Star, stopping by for his weekly. It's been such an interesting, really drama-free week for the Cowboys. It feels kind of strange.
Yeah, only drama was, if it's not even drama, just Dak saying, yeah, I'm going to play against the Rams. But drama-free, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, your guys are getting healthy. You got a backup quarterback that is playing out of his mind inside of a very tightly controlled offense that, quite frankly, you can tell Kellen Moore's done this before. He's brought a quarterback along. He's about to join the ranks. If Rush wins again on Sunday, he will pass Roger Staubach, and there's only like 3 or 4 dudes in the history of the NFL.
Pass Roger and what?
Is winning their first 3 starts,
to be 4.
To win your first 4 starts as a backup quarterback is just about unheard of. I mean, it just doesn't happen for a lot of reasons. And now a lot of this has to do with the schedule that the Cowboys have.
It's the schedule, and it also has to do with the defense. The defense is really, really good right now.